Welcome back to the Unacceptable News. I'm your host, Justin Bush. Do you think Kim Kardashian's happy? Today's story is about time travelers. Now, we've all seen the YouTube videos of the recent years of fake time travelers from channels like Apex TV that claim that they're from 2026, 2028, 2032, that they went forward to the year 2800 and they came backwards, and they show these little photographs and fake clips and things like that that can easily be debunked, and they don't show their faces, and it's a lot of nonsense. And because I have my own personal experiences with UFOs, I happen to know that with real UFO encounters, there is a time dilation effect. So when you go onto the ship, it may be 5 or 10 minutes inside, but when you leave, hours have passed. The longest time dilation event that I've experienced is 5 or more hours. So you have these people that are making these false claims about time travelers, and then on the other hand, you have UFOs that are showing real time dilation events. And so the reason we're bringing you this time traveler story is because we keep hearing things like the Rendlesham Forest case, where John Burroughs and Jim Penniston had this strange encounter with this unknown craft. When they had this encounter in the forest of Rendlesham Forest in the UK, it was said that Jim Penniston put his hands on that craft, and when he did, he received a download in binary code. Later on, Jim Penniston said that he believed that his encounter with this UFO were actually time travelers from the future. And we've seen this many times. We've seen this binary code with cases in the United States. We've seen it in crop circles. It seems that somebody is attempting to communicate via this binary code, and it seems that time travel, or at least time dilation, is a huge part of the UFO phenomenon. We know these objects have been reported appearing and disappearing, and we can show you that now. So with this time dilation and these appearances and disappearances of these UFOs, you have open admission from former military working on a nuclear base that they believe this is time travelers. We also have an investigation by former gubernatorial candidate Jon Stewart, who he admits that he was informed by the government some of these encounters with these craft and these people are actually time travelers from the future of humanity. And we can show you that as well.
How do they get from place to place, I guess, if you know?
Right. Well, she doesn't know, and Roger didn't tell her.
Yeah.
I could just simply tell you what people have told me. It's the blipping, that's my word, in and out of dimensions. And I tell you, everyone, the story. I'm having lunch with someone. I see a photo. I see Pete 45,000. Take this for whatever you want. I said, we have 45,000 aliens in captivity. No, that's 45,000 into the future. I'm like, okay. He goes, John, look, a lot of these beings are us from the future. And then I get the story, and Stephen Greer kind of cut the rough edges off it. An extraterrestrial is from the human lineage. An alien is not from the human DNA, the human lineage. So says this whistleblower who talked about these beings being from the future. Aliens are from, not from the human lineage. Extraterrestrials have our DNA, however amount, and they come from our lineage.
So with all these admissions of time travelers and time travel story, teleportation, appearing and disappearing, really who knows what the truth is. With AI, these fake time travelers that are on YouTube can now create realistic videos that look like a future event, and they can place that event in a well-known area such as New York or Los Angeles. So people online are being easily duped by these fake time travelers. And because this content is so entertaining, the more viewers they get, the more money they get. And the more money they get, the more fake videos of time travel that they can produce. And so you have this endless cycle of fake time travelers mixed in with real time dilation events that are witnessed and experienced by some of our highest ranking military members. So when we have this issue and it's being conflated, we want to be very careful not to present you with information that is completely and totally fabricated. But just recently on TikTok, a man by the name of Alex Shaw has released some videos that has everybody questioning on whether time travel is actually real. Essentially, this man owns a home. He rents it out as an Airbnb, and he was watching his camera. He got a notification there was somebody in his backyard that shouldn't be there. So he tried to communicate with this person via the Ring camera. He used the microphone to try to contact them. They went into a shed in his backyard. They didn't answer him, so he called the police. The police came out. They searched the shed. There was no one there. Eventually, the police left, and the very next day, the man got a notification from his camera that somebody was exiting his shed. A different person, or at least it seems like it might be a different person, walked out of the shed and left the property, and he also has that on film. So this man was saying, is this a portal? Is this time travel? What is this? And they've done a little bit of analysis into the two individuals that appeared and disappeared without any real explanation as to what's happening. And people are saying that they look so similar that perhaps this is a real time traveler. So we're going to show you some of that video now.
Dude's coming onto my property to what looks like rob my house, but it actually turns out he is a time traveler. And let me show you that. I literally can't even make this up. Like if I wanted to make this up, it blows my mind. This just happened yesterday. So as you can see, he's wandering around my backyard. I don't know what he's trying to do. Now he's like thinking like where to go, and he actually ends up going into my shed. So you can see he opens it, goes into the shed. So I'm fast forwarding the time so you can see there's no movement. He never leaves the shed. And I'm talking on the camera. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you in my shed? Never answers. He never leaves the shed. I literally was watching it the whole time. So I end up calling the police. You could see in the last one, the police coming through the front yard. And then here's the police coming into the backyard. And you can see they literally go inside. They go inside and I'm talking to them. Then they go inside again. Like they're inside there. And they come out and he's not there. And like I've been watching this backdoor camera the whole entire time and he never left. I really watched the camera the whole time. He never left. Police didn't see him in there. And like it blows my mind. Like I don't know if there's a tunnel in my shed in the backyard. I don't know if he teleported. I don't know where this guy went or why he went in that shed. Let me know what you think because I'm like perplexed. Flabbergasted. I have an update regarding the time traveler that went into my shed and disappeared. And this is gonna blow a lot of people's minds. And if you're still denying that this is real at this point, this is gonna change your mind. So just a quick recap. This guy walks around my backyard, goes to my shed, opens the door, goes inside and disappears. Called the cops came, they went in the shed twice. He wasn't in there. They looked. I looked like an insane guy. The cops are like, what is this guy smoking? And you can see he never came back until the next day right here. Notification on my camera that there's somebody in my backyard and this guy leaves my shed. And he looks right at the camera too. That guy left my shed. But here's the craziest part. This looks like the same guy, maybe, glasses, whatever. Let's look at the other guy. This was the other guy. He noticeably aged. Looks like the same guy, but aged. So him again, and now him. Same facial features, whiter hair. So I don't even know what to think at this point. Somebody explain this. He literally left the same shed. You saw the camera I put before. There was no movement that whole night. Then the next day, this guy leaves the shed, looks right at the camera like he knows, and he looks noticeably older. I don't know, something's going on. Somebody explain what's going on in my shed. I'll be going there in about a week to give a tour, since a lot of people are asking. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, I don't even know what to think. Did he time travel? Is this a different person? Who is this new guy? Is it the same guy? Let me know what you think, because this blew my mind. If you still don't believe the story about the time traveler that went into my shed, disappeared, and then came back in the future, this video is going to change your mind. There's so much evidence supporting this theory. This guy named Matty Ice, he's been looking into this a lot. It's funny because he actually made a skit on part 1, kind of like making fun of me, but now he's come around to actually looking into this because this is real. So he's been looking into this story, and he found some crazy evidence. To start this off, I don't support reaching out to anybody's families or anything like that. This is all speculative, but evidence kind of makes sense. So what he did is he did a reverse image search, and he found this guy who looks pretty similar to our boy here. The crazy part is this guy was obsessed with time travel. And you can see 9 years ago, he used to post on blogs talking about time travel and how it works. So he graduated from Harvard University, which is, you know, obviously impressive. So this guy knew his stuff. He was obsessed with time travel, and he looks like our guy. So it's like, okay, it's probably him then, right? This guy died in 2018, 6 years ago, which, by the way, how is 2018 6 years ago? That's crazy in its own. But 6 years ago, this guy died. But he looks the same, and he was obsessed with time travel. We also found this, which is family members saying they miss him and that they, you know, love him and stuff like that in November 2018. We also found this, which is the same thing talking about his death, July of 2017. So this one also says he died in July of 2018, but then they posted in 2017. It's possible that they edited this text to, you know, give him a shout out, how he passed away. Maybe this picture was posted beforehand, but still a little fishy, right? It was in 2017 saying, you know, he died in 2018, but whatever. He also found this interview notes, which I guess he was interviewed and somebody took notes of the interview. And in this interview, he was talking about his obsession with sound and time travel and how everything like that works in another dimension. This is all speculative. I didn't do any of this research. This is all Matty Ice. But this is crazy because there's a lot of coincidences. This guy looks the same. He was obsessed with time travel. He died. Somebody commented about his death a year before it happened. Mentioned that maybe the body wasn't found. I don't know how accurate that part is. But coincidences going back to this guy who looks like our time traveler.
So what do you think? Is this a time traveler? Is this a glitch? Did the man's cameras malfunction somehow? We would really like to know what your thoughts are on these videos, and you can put those thoughts in the comments down below. If you'd like to support our channel, go to the description or in the pinned comment down below. That's the unacceptable news. Don't like, don't subscribe, just run.